Hi guys, welcome. Welcome back, welcome aboard, welcome home, absolutely, and always, depending on where you are in relation to these messages, this channel, this energy, this everything. Right now, I would like to talk about the full moon happening on the 14th of June, 2022. It happens at 6:52 a.m. Central Time at 23 degrees Sagittarius. How exciting. So here's the deal. Full moons happen when the sun and moon are in opposition. I know there are a lot of people who would talk about oppositions like they are a challenge, but but here in Eileen Land, we talk about them as an opportunity, right? This is how do you balance ideas versus experience? How do you balance the ideal versus the real, right? How do you balance the concept of knowledge versus the concept of experience, specifically. The challenge for this full moon, Gemini and Sag, the axis, right, is about having plenty of ideas, plenty of concepts, right? The challenge here is about showing up and staying, right? It's about minding your inconsistency, minding your loose ends, and minding your tendency to be critical and second guess yourself. So here's the deal. Sagittarius is all about adventure, being very open-minded, having access and importance to and of higher learning or higher experience. So it's about immersion, right? We learn about a thing by doing a thing. It's very restless. It can also be like that eternal seeker energy, right? Like, you know, it's beautiful to be a seeker, but it's sometimes you got to be a finder or you're just wandering around looking at stuff. Gemini, of course, the sun in Gemini, right, is about that talkative, constant motion, kind of big ideas. Can also be very hypercritical, right? Gemini has access to every question and every answer. And so Sagittarius wants to experience those questions and answers. That's the full moon, right? We are illuminated there. So what experiences do you have that are no longer serving you? What knowledge have you learned is inappropriate or unnecessary or does not align as truth? These are your questions. In your experience, what knowledge have you gained and how is that giving you wisdom? We've also got some pretty important aspects happening here. The moon is sextiling the Saturn, which is in Aquarius in retrograde, right? So this is about a need for order, and because we're talking about retrograding Saturn, this is about inner order, right? So there are opportunities for you here to examine your past, right? Examine your patterns, examine the fractal that is your life. Discover what it is that you need to know right now, because we always know, right? When we're talking about Saturn, we're talking about what did we leave out in the yard, right? We talk about Saturn as rules and boundaries and restrictions, and the key to every Saturn lesson is about what did you leave laying around. That's the only weapon that Saturn can use against you. What did you leave undone? What did you leave unsaid? What did you leave untied up? So look to those places for lessons, places where you believe you need closure, and how perhaps is closure a big giant myth, right? It's just a gift you give to yourself. In so much as we have a sextile to Saturn by the moon, we have a trine to Saturn by the sun necessarily. So this is about yourself as belonging in that order, your inner order, right? Sometimes Saturn talks about getting shit done. How does that turn internal? Well, where might you need to soften up on your inner identity? Where might you need to become more plastic or malleable as you move more thoughtfully through your constructed order, or deconstruct, right? Or have an opportunity for reconstruction? All of these are available to you. All of them are. We also have a really serious T-square with Neptune, right? Insofar as things can be serious when it comes to Neptune. So This means that the moon and the sun are both squaring Neptune and Pisces, right? And of course, Neptune is about illusions. It's about things that are better felt than spoken. It can also indicate here things that are unclear, misheard, misinterpreted, misaligned, anything that's out of sync with the head or the heart, right? Because we're talking about the sun and the moon, and then Neptune being at a 90-degree angle to both of those. So in any way you feel or think that you are out of alignment, right? And that is something that you can really be in witness of at this beautiful time of brilliant full moon energy. We also we have the Gemini sun in direct Pluto, right, in Capricorn, which is in retrograde, and then the Sagittarius moon indirect, the north node is in Taurus, and Venus and Uranus, right? So this is about your future, your sense of home, your experience of it, your sensual experience of what means home to you, and then how you are willing to shift and change, not just your feeling about that, but your sense of relation to your future, your sense of what is karmic, what you're conjuring, and how willing you are to release those patterns, right? At depth, here is the key, because the opportunity is to release those patterns at depth about yourself and your identity. Whatever it is that you're conjuring or creating in your future has to be aligned with those, those ideals about what home is to you, what the future is to you, right? And this is about your sensual creatings, what you see, what you feel, what you taste, what you smell, and more importantly, how you want to create those and draw them into your life and experience. Remember, we're talking about knowledge and experience creating wisdom, and in the way that we're doing that has to be aligned with the ways that we experience what home is. So what does it feel like for you? What does it smell like for you? What does it taste like for you? What does it look like for you, right? And no one else can answer those questions for you. Oh, okay then. Right. So the thing is, with a Sag full moon, the key is you have to immerse yourself in it. You can't just think about it. The Gemini sun might want to think about it, might want to think about it and, you know, explore it in the mind's eye, right? Look at it from all angles and contemplate what it might, what I think it feels like, what I think it looks like, what I think it tastes like, right? No. That is not how we create, right? That is how we tell a story. And while narrative is a functional tool, immersion creates wisdom. Immersion is the only thing that creates true wisdom, right? You can have knowledge or you can have experience, but if you want to have a synthesis of the two, that is wisdom, you have to have both, right? You have to have both. You cannot really learn about the world from behind your desk. You cannot really gather knowledge about a thing, you know, like practical, pragmatic knowledge about a thing by simply doing, right? There are two sides to every story. There's knowledge, there's experience, and that is wisdom. And that's what this full moon is about. How willing are you to immerse yourself in your experimentation about your alignment, right? How are you willing to dip not just your toe in, but to dive into the pool of available experience and create your own wisdom? Great question. Okay, so we have the Ace of Pentacles, right? And the Two of Wands. I love it that we have a beautiful full moon in Sagittarius, right? This is your golden opportunity. Two of Wands is about choosing between heart-based choices, right? What lights my fire? What gets me juiced up? What really sets my heart racing? What motivates me, right? Wands is fire energy, Pentacles, of course, being earth. Now here's the deal. You've got your golden opportunity to choose, right? What sets your heart on fire? What did we just talk about? You have a golden opportunity to make that choice with your Sagittarius full moon. What are you going to do with it? Great question. Great question. So we have the Six of Wands. This is victory, and the Five of Swords, which is about conflict. The Six of Wands being about victory, right? This is really about how can I step into those things that will create that best possible experience for me? Five of Swords is about conflicting beliefs, right? Conflicting ideas. So if you're going to let your ideas shape, right? This is about what I think it feels like. No, it has to be what it feels like. It has to be what it feels like. This is a conflict, right? This is thinking you know what it feels like. This is trying it out, right? And winning, right? This is victory. This is achievement. And this is simply only an ideal, right? Where do we get lost? Where do we create conflict? In our heads, by having a wrong idea about something, by mishearing, misinterpreting, right? Misaligning. So clarity, right? Understanding where your heart is asking you to go as opposed to where your head is asking you to go. We've got the Queen of Pentacles and the Nine of Cups. Queen of Pentacles, right? This is absolutely lovely energy. The Queen of Pentacles is embodying your resource state. It's knowing that you have everything that you require, right? And as we talked about, the moon moving indirect through that Taurus North Node, Venus and Uranus, right? And really requiring us to release our patterns at the depth of self, at the depth of identity, so that we have room to conjure and create our future aligned, right, with our heart-based ideas, right? Nine of Cups is absolutely, this is, I know what I want. I know what brings me satisfaction and contentment, what brings me fulfillment on the emotional level, what fills my heart's cups. This is wish fulfillment, right? And so you know how it is, and you have that power up under you to know that you're fully resourced in the journey along the way, right? Not just now, not just tomorrow, not just maybe, but at every step, at every moment. Lovely. We have the Six of Cups and the World. Six of Cups, this is pure unconditional love, right? This is, I know what home feels like because in my heart of hearts, I am aligned to it, right? Nothing on this earth can misalign you unless your spirit agrees to it. And so your heart, right? Sixes are cards of balance, right? They're cards of transition, of moving through or from. And so this Six of Cups is really moving back to that state of unstruck, right? So the Anahata, this is I always like to kind of bring it up. The Six of Cups is related to the heart chakra. And so this is the Sanskrit name for that is the Anahata, which means the unstruck, to love as though you've never been hurt, right? So really that state of full and unconditional love, right? So this isn't about behavior. This is about love. It's about how you witness a thing, a person, a situation, a circumstance, and releasing the patterns that get in the way or allow you to create something that is misaligned. There is no misaligned creation in the Six of Cups, and the World asks you to witness that as your cycle, right? To witness it as exactly where you are. Anything that is out of place has been deconstructed. Anything that is in alignment is there for reconstruction, and always being open to that cycle, right? That shift, Six of Cups, that bringing that thing back, right? I know this, I've experienced it. I have the wisdom of this experience, right? This is where I'm going to base my my future. My all of my creation will be based right there. And so that Sagittarius energy that says, what I have experienced, right? Because this is a card of experience. This is what you've experienced. And this is the summation of the knowledge shifting into the next level. So as you witness it, remember, you've got this, right? You do. You've got it. We've got plenty of, you've got this in here, right? You've got exactly what you need. You have it available, right? If you can step out of your believings, you definitely have it all available down here. Now this is a new deck, isn't it gorgeous? Let's check this out. The nonogram, right, which we know is a 9-sided figure. We also love 9s as that cycle integration, right? That is knowledge and experience equals wisdom. That's the way that that works, which is absolutely lovely. Let's see what this deck has to say about a 9-sided object. A nonogram, the Enneagram or 9-pointed star, has very high significance in regard to numerological value and higher consciousness. 9 is the final number of physical incarnation, the life number that prepares the traveler for transition to the higher realms of consciousness. The number 9 resonates to a higher frequency and thus enables the ability to communicate more strongly with the higher planes of existence while not fully existing within them. When it appears, you are being called to bridge the gap between the realms of physical and spiritual. You possess the gifts that may not necessarily be aware of, and now is the time to focus on their development. It is the time for you to take action and transform yourself. You must choose to walk the path or fight the tide. You must choose to walk the path or fight the tide. Transformational energies of the nonogram encourage you to tread your path with confidence, right? We see that. Tread your path with confidence because it's all about where you choose, right? Tread your path or fight the tide. I love it. I love it. Enjoy this full moon and release, right? Release where you're fighting. Release where it's not in alignment. Release the patterns that are creating anything in misalignment, right? And say yes to everything that feels like home, not what you think feels like home, right? That moon is going to reflect it at you. So remember, your knowledge and your experience is what creates your wisdom. So don't fight the tide, right? Yeah, big blessings. I like the way that this echoes the weekly What's Up, so listen to that if you're interested. And other than that, big full moon blessings, y'all. Take care.